matte finished surface. All of this we can be achieved without the addition of matting agents. So typically, matting agents tend to have as an effect that the surface becomes delicate and quite delicate. So by avoiding this, we have a very matte surface, very scratch, with a very high scratch resistance, and also the final touch is absolutely surprising. It can be like silk. Okay, we can go ahead. So these are listed. We have here a list of all the benefits we can achieve. So no matting agents needed, like we said. Ultra matte glass levels possible. So easily, of course, below 5. It depends a little bit on the colors, but we can reach up to even 1 glass, which is impossible to achieve with traditional UV paints, especially without having matting agent. A very high resistance in the final surface as a mechanical property, and a soft silky touch, which can also be slightly modulated and adjusted according to what we want to achieve. And finally, also surface which is not subject to fingerprint effect. Okay, this is the last one. Okay, excimer is a part of the global UV treatment, of the global process that we are here performing. Very typically, you might need also pre-treatment. A pre-treatment that can be, let's say, executed with the different UV sources according to the final result that we want to achieve. And by modulating and adjusting the pre-treatment, we can actually also modulate the silky touch that you want to achieve at the end. So it can be rougher or softer according to what you want to achieve. And also you can adjust the final gloss level. Excimer treatment, which is the talking about now, to create this microstructure, and then of course the final polymerization, the final curing, that has as a purpose the fact that we have to cure the lacquer layer all through the tanks to finalize the product. Having the inert chamber available, so the inert environment available, can also help in maybe boosting a little bit the power of the final UV lamps that can also work eventually in an inert environment. This has as a result that we can also have an even harder final surface. Okay, so that was it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Gloria. So it's time for another round of viewer questions. So let's start right away. Why 2 cross belts in the final position of the machine? Why are there 2 cross belts in the final position of the machine? Will
Yeah. 2 cross belts, they are currently rotating each other. So in this way,
And here, this is also a very interesting machine because we also supply machines which SCM is not producing, like this one, because the customer is also producing glass doors. Just imagine the glass door, inside there is the glass, and to hold the glass you need a glass frame, a small glass frame, and this was produced in this machinery. Then, as also in each big factory, there is also a department for small double-headed machines. And now, here we see again some details regarding the production of the chest. They are inserting in receiving the rubber sealing in the chest, then the cut to size with a 45-degree cut. And now the department of the production of the door. You see the honeycomb, you see the double edge bending machine, the core machine of this process. And then at the end, everything in the assembly area. And in the packaging area, here the packaging machine, you see already the finished product. The product is protected with the cardboard on the long side, and then there is put a paper, a foil, a shrinking foil on it, and here you see the finished product. The magazine of finished products, 9,000 square meters. Here a few of the stacks of the raw materials of the LDF panels. And very interesting and important, we are talking about Uzbekistan, and we have seen here that the company is also connected to the railway to guarantee a perfect distribution of these products in Uzbekistan and also for the export. I hope you enjoyed the video, Pedro.
Yes, I did, and I'm sure our viewers did too.
At this point, the loader carriage enters inside the platen block to deliver the panel into the line. Now, let's move to the platen block view. Here, we can see the functioning of the crossbars performing the opening of the selected line. Thanks to our patented solution, we can grant constant pressure on the other delights while we are loading and unloading the panels in the selected delight. A special device detects the panel if it gets stuck to the upper platen, slowing down the feeding of the carriage for an easy and delicate separation. Let's move to the other view. In this detailed view, we can see the crossbars performing the opening of the single delight to allow the entering of the loader carriage executing three operations at the same time: the unloading of the previously pressed panels, the loading of a new panel, and the cleaning of the platens. In this detailed view, we can see the electronic flatness and platens positioning control. This patented solution permits to protect the press components and eliminates the maintenance of leveling unit compared to alternative systems on based on mechanical hooks. In this final detailed view, we can see the unloading phase of the door. Loading, we have a motorized roller conveyor to have a better and faster cooling down of the pressed product. Here we have a video showing a complete loading and unloading cycle for a 5-delight press. The selected delight opens and the loader carriage enters the delight together with the panel. At the end of the stroke, the carriage returns to the starting position and the synchronized carriage belt at the bottom. The delight closes, the platen block rises, bringing the platen of the second delight to the loader level. At this point, a new panel is loaded. The sequence is repeated until the last compartment is loaded. After loading the fifth panel, the delight closes and descends. At this point, the first panel is ready to be unloaded. The carriage enters to feed the new panel and pushes out the pressed panel. It is important to highlight that while we are performing the loading on the selected delight, the others remain closed under constant pressure to grant best gluing quality. Here we show the continuous flow where one door enters and one is pushed out every 20 seconds. These are the standard models range. We have different platen dimensions available starting from 2000 per 1300 up to 3350 per 1400 millimeters with 5, 6, 7 or 10 delights. We have different options when we need to insert the press in an automatic and fully integrated line, according to our customer requirements in terms of productivity, factory layout, workforce involved, and type of product, of course. Here we're going to show some examples and possible solutions. So let's start with the option 1, where this line is designed to reach a productivity of about 500 doors with 3-4 operators involved. It's the entry level option when we designed the lines, but still very versatile and with a high quality of the product and a proportionally low cost. This plan solution with Sergiani LS allowed to make a first relatively contained investment. In fact, the composition is performed completely manually. It is possible to implement the line in a second step, replacing only the automatic to increase the speed of composition to reach the maximum performance of the press, that is about 1000 posts per sheet. This is the medium level option where we aim to activity of about 1000 doors per sheet with 2-3 operators involved. This is the medium level option. Very versatile, and it allows to reach higher productivity, speeding up the composition time and reducing required workforce thanks to the automatic loading. So, compared to the option that we saw before, here we added the automatic loading bridge and the SP5 composition station for a more ergonomic and fast composition, always performed by 2 operators. Here we have also the possibility to add frame production and fillers integrated in the line. Now let's move with the option 3. Here we have a productivity of about 1,200 doors with only one operator dedicated to the line and another operator serving the stations. It's a very high productivity, but we keep always check on the high productivity or high quality of the product, of course, labor saving, and production and constant preempted by automatic composition of the door, performed by a robotic cell. It is designed for customers who produce high quantities, quality doors, or want to free themselves from productivity problems caused by labor, by requiring a factory that is as automatic as possible. Of course, these are only some exemplary layouts. Our engineering process managers are available to design dedicated solutions according to your requirements. So I see Antonio is ready to take the word. So I give the word to Antonio to go further on the process for the production of doors.
Thank you, Carlo, for the line. It is my pleasure to introduce to you today and share with you this important flexible line for the processing and aging of the doors, which is part of our technology aging program. It is a production line formed by the integration of Maros automatic handling systems and SCM Stephanie Flex square-in edge bender, capable to generate a highly performing process for the complete production and finishing of the doors. A specific feature of the line is degrees of flexibility, which allows the processing of multiply and different profiles and finishing with rapid changing in setting to guarantee high productivity and adaptations, also to future production needs. Let's go to see specifically how this line is made and to describe the different processing phases. For the feeding doors to the edge-bending machine, we'll find the Maros brush loading system capable to handle doors up to 2,500 millimeters long and with a thickness up to 60 mil. The square-in single-side edge bender is a Stephanie Flex equipped with an external milling unit with automatic insertion between the two providing square-in shoulders. The particular composition of this machine allows flexibility during the continuous size changing of the door dimension that will be introduced. The finishing process area of the machine is equipped with the specific units for the processing of the door profiles, allows at the end of the process to obtain a complete finishing without any future manual intervention. In the outgoing of the line, we find the Maros brush unloading station, which allows the returning of the loading station and the management of the door to the unloading. All the processing phases of the doors by watch line, supervisor, that means of the barcode in each single door is able to match the correct processing program to track and control the process phases, plus additional productivity management and reporting features. Now let's go to see some important details of the line. Side alignment device for the correct introduction of the door. Barcode label application device. A loading station for the door just in time. Pallet feeding area. Feeding pickup area with forklift. Automatic barcode reader. Pallet stacker area. Now we will see some information also on the Stephanie Flex. Square-in edge bender, as we said, has the particular of having right mobile shoulder composed only with dedicated units for the squaring of the door. Particular configuration allows a high-speed positioning of the shoulder and the quick change over of the door's dimensions without having to wait for the entry machine to be empty. This will reduce the time and will consequently increase the productivity. Now we will see the 4 phases of the door's production. First pass longitudinal for the door parallelism. In this first processing phase, the door is processed on the longitudinal side, providing the removal of the stepper edge present in the round door. Parallelism and measurement of the door width are threefold guaranteed. In this phase, take place by means of the external milling unit UZ, able to quickly adapt to the size of the door introduced. First phase, we have also the lateral pusher to guarantee the correct introduction of the door and the top pressure wheels. Now, shortly, we will see the second phase of the production of the doors. Into this second phase is introduced inside the machine on the traversal side, right, where the processing of the square is carried out. The measurement of the door length and the upper side. For these processes, the mobile shoulder of the machine is used, composed of powerful units capable of removing and performing a perfect finishing of the lower part of the door by means of axes present on the main machine units. In this phase, the automatic setting of the gluing area takes place with the correct positioning of the shape and the type of edge according to the profile request during the process. The 12-point magazine allows a high degree of flexibility and autonomy of the line. In case of changing the door dimensions, as we can see, the mobile shoulder quickly adapts to the new format by means of a specific side pusher. The position of the machine dimension is guaranteed. Also in this phase, there is the automatic labeling of each individual door, which remains tracked throughout the subsequent phase of the processing. Following the finishing phase upper and lower part of the door, the profiling and longitudinal edging of the left side of the door take place. Just after the exclusion of the mobile shoulder, the special adapter is inserted, also able to quickly manage and dimensional change of the fold door. Leaning on the previous working side, it guarantees the perfect reference of the door compared to the subsequent processing and profiling and edging on the left side. The finishing units are perfect processing on the front of the door, where the longitudinal edge part meets the upper part of the door previously worked, thus eliminating any manual finishing operation. The last phase of processing, the profiling and longitudinal edging on the right side of the door take place, in which the side positioning device will lean on the side already previously worked. The finishing units allows perfect processing of the rear part of the door, where the longitudinal edging part meets the upper part of the door previously worked. Now I would like to introduce and to show you the video of our case history, SCM company. for your attention. It will be my pleasure now to pass the line to Gianluca.
Thank you, Antonio. Now I will talk about the door squaring process. So, Czelaszki is the technological excellence for profiling, squaring, and tenoring machines in SCM group to process a wide range of materials such as chipboard, MDF, solid wood, HPL, and other construction material. These machines are completely made in Italy, in Piacenza, 100 kilometers from Milan. I'm talking about standalone machines such as this Czelaszki P30 double tenor that I will show you later. Special machine, through-feed Czelaszki SP, lines to square and profile panels, lines to process window elements together with other SCM technologies, lines for flooring, and of course lines for door. The heart of the profiling process is that I want to show you. Chains are made of ductile iron or sintered steel, and this is a sliding chain CS with dogs used on a crosswise machine. And this is a rolling chain CR75 with roller bearings. Regarding the squaring, we are able to manage all kinds of wooden frames, even special ones with, such as the ones with fiberglass skin. Furthermore, our automation are able to productivity lines such as 15 doors per minute, hard size and weight, even 80 kilogram doors, and nothing technology. A simple double antenna in SCM range for squaring door is the Czelaszki P30, a double antenna with manual loading and unloading. It is a compact machine for both lengthwise and crosswise passes to square and profile door. It can be programmed from its simple touchscreen interface. And you're seeing the operator just setting the new dimension, and the machine automatically move the that is automatic. Dogs for crosswise passage are manual and can be used both in front or behind the pieces. Here you see the operator is loading the pieces against the reference and the dogs. The machine with an automatic scorer coupled to an auger and followed by two operating units. Here you see the detail of the scoring unit working on the bottom and jumping at the end of the piece to avoid the auger. Here is jumping at the back, and then the two profiling unit is jumping and counter-rotating to avoid, again, to cheat with the next unit. So you can see now the concept of working with this machine with two operators. And this machine can guarantee a square accuracy and measures in the order of tenths of a millimeter. This is just to give you an overview of a standalone machine. Now I want to talk about more performing solutions in terms of productivity with lines equipped with loading and unloading system. The next video I want to show you is about a line designed to handle 10 doors per minute on average. This line consists of a Maros loading system, two squaring machines, and an unloading station. This is the lengthwise machine with its units, and the crosswise machine. The whole line is managed by Maestro Watch supervisor. Now you can see two stacks, homogeneous stacks, are loaded automatically at the loading station, and you can notice the protective baseboard on top of them. At unloading, the automation manages automatically the baseboard for the finished stacks. At loading, the line automatically manages the interlevers that are inside the stacks of doors because they arrive from pressing. And so they are placed on roller conveyor. The strong point in SCM line is this longitudinal infeeder that allows to introduce up to 12 doors per minute into the machine, while the two fixed contact points laterally. Door is then profiled, trimmed, and longitudinally. A 90-degree connection system brings the door to the crosswise machine, where the doors are finally squared, as you can see, thanks to the dogs and the side pushers. Doors are profiled, and then they are sent to the unloading station. The Maros brush system that automatically stack them on two stations. Here we have the two stacks completed. This line can also manage oversized doors, such as doors 1.6 meter wide, like the one you are seeing, that are loaded and unloaded manually using dedicated openings. Well, I have another video for you where I want to show you another very interesting line where the production is based on small batches with different profiles, always with a productivity of 10-12 doors per minute. Here you can see the layout of this line, always two automation systems and two double antennas. The wall line is fully automatic and is managed by SCM Maestro Watch supervisor. Here you can see again the infeeding device, the two double antennas Czelasky P60, equipped with electro spindles with 12 position automatic tool changer and beveling units. This is the crosswise machine with a similar configuration. Lengthwise speed is up to 40 meters per minute and 20 meters per minute crosswise. Now you see here a mixed stack where the operator generates the working list reading the barcode. The system automatically manages the loading of the stacks, both mixed and homogeneous. So now we are going to produce batch 1 doors. Okay, here you see the of the process, and a peculiarity of this line is the pyramidal function in the square machine, which allows to manage a range of width of 300 millimeters without the need to empty the machine. So this allows to do not set up the movable stand, and in this way it's possible to maintain a high productivity even working batch 1. Here you see the automatic tool changer phase on the lengthwise machine. Now you are looking the automatic system manage the baseboard and start to load the new stacks. Here you see the inserting, as I showed you before, that is for 12 doors per minute, but it's possible to achieve also a maximum productivity of 15 doors per minute. So you see the door is touched only in 2 points, allowing to processing perfectly. I like a lot this part because it shows that the operator can open the protection and replace the tools while the machine is running, thanks to the customized protection that we designed. The 90-degree transfer brings the pieces to the crosswise machine that center the door, make a perfect square. Here we go again through all the units, and all these doors can have different profiles. Here you can see better again the tool changing sequence on the crosswise machine. Thanks to all the device, fairness of the door is granted in the order of tenth of a millimeter. And now you see the line running at full speed. Finally, you can see the different profiles, the grooves, and the laser marking made on the machine on the final product. With this video, I finished the overview of the door squaring process. I give the speech back to Pietro and Albin to answer your question, and I thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you, Gianluca, and thank you, Antonio and Carlo, before him. So, Albin, you've heard it. It's time to reply
Sure.
some questions coming from our viewers at home. So let's see those questions. What kind of doors does the customer Binkhead produce?
Well, the custom Binkhead is producing many door types. Let's say the main product type is the flush door. How is done the flush door? The flush door is composed of 3 layers. There are the 2 external layers, the MDF skins, out of 3 to 4 millimeter of MDF, and an internal frame also made out of MDF. Then the filling is honeycomb. This, as I said, is the main product, this flush door. But we supplied also many other technologies to process many different other door types, like molded skin doors. We supplied membrane press to do this kind of door. Then we supplied a complete department, complex department, a painting department, where the customer can produce all kind of painted doors. And last but not least, we supplied also CNC technology for the processing of glass, for carving also the glass, for the glass doors. It's more or less these are the main products or products from the customer Binkhead.
Okay. How many months did it take Binkhead to reach the production capacity of 700 doors per shift?
Oh, this is also an interesting question. Let's say it was a quite long project, a challenging project, and just imagine that it took around 2 years to define all the technical details, because as I mentioned before, we also make the consulting to the customer. Means at the beginning we discussed about machines, but we discussed also about the product. Means we needed to also to define the product. Then let's say once done this, there was the negotiation, the contract needed to be prepared with all its details, and you can say that this took us around 2 years. And then the customer needed to start to build his facility, his offices, and while he was doing this job, SCM was producing here in Italy all the technologies, and we were, in time, we supplied, let's say, the first tranche of machines after around 9 months. Then we immediately installed, the customer was ready, he made his foundations, he made his shop quite well. And once arrived this first tranche of machinery to produce the first simple products of doors, started the training. And also this was quite, let's say, a tricky job, because you can imagine, we were talking about Uzbekistan, the first factory in this dimension. There have not been so many skilled operators. Means the installation just did not just finish with the installation. We also need to add training and consulting to skill all the operators to arrive at the maximum capacity. But let's say, you can say around 2 years it took from the contract, from the signed contract, until the customer was ready to manage all the technologies alone. It's in total 4 years, you can say.
4 years. Okay. What is the maximum productivity of the Sergiani LAS?
The productivity of the last press, of the Sergiani last press, 10 daylight press, is very high. The customer can produce up to 1,200 doors per shift, because thanks to the patented solution, it is possible to produce in 20 seconds 1 door. And this is really fantastic.
Okay. Then what is the main difference between the Sergiani LAS and the standard automatic multi-daylight press?
Well, here I should explain, let's say, once more, as Carlo already did, let's say the concept. the last press has independent daylights. Means once prepared at the first door, this door goes immediately into the press. And this is the patent of the last, while the multi-daylight press is working different. Before you load the press, you need to prepare all the 10 doors, and this means that there is passing a lot of time from the first door to the last door. And this means that the open time of the glue, because there is also influencing this other parameter, which is the glue, and the time which is passing is quite a lot, and the glue is already catalyzing. And this can create, let's say, a quality which is not so good as with the last press. Because for the last press, you can use rapid glues, you have short open time and short pressing time. It means the quality with the last is perfect.
Okay. Then are doors the only finished or ready-to-use product that can be made with the last?
Yes, you can do also other kind of products, let's say not only doors, you can also laminate panels. And in fact, we have also a product which is called Last 3, which is 7 daylight press. And with this press, it is possible to reach a maximum pressure of around 5.5 kilogram per square centimeter, which is the ideal, let's say, pressure to produce, to laminate panels with HPL, CPL, and also with veneer.
Okay. What is the main difference between
solid wood pieces with any shapes and profiles? If a transparent top coat is applied, well, we take it to the painting booth, and after painting, the pieces are dried. Film is applied on the surface to ensure the protection of the piece during the construction phase. The strips are packed and stored and then dispatched to the construction site. And they have implemented innovative processes. We started as a small company, but now we are leader for the timber construction industry. We moved here to the new headquarters. And we are continuing to invest and to grow. We have a lot of projects in terms of timber construction. We are a family-run company, but we are growing, as I said. We also offer training to carpenters and young people, so you can apply for a job and actually you will have a job in the future.
the right fence, and two movables that are adjusted on the profile. We are waiting Paolo that finish the operation. Now we show the functioning of the software and the machine. In this case, the machine is ready for the demo, the tools are installed, and the manual axes are already positioned. Paolo selects the program from HMI. For each program, we can associate an image. Paolo starts the program and the machine performs the positioning with the electronic axis and the desired data. Then, we need to wait that the machine is positioning. Paolo starts the feed system and the data of the speed inside the program. But if you want, you can change manually the feed speed. Okay, the pieces has been worked, and using a new device, the label printer, Paolo can apply manually the label on the pieces, according to the work program, to provide its identification for subsequent operation. Not molder work the pieces back to back. If the piece is in this way, we have to push a button to print the label manually, because the machine cannot understand the difference between one piece and one another. In this case, we start from the next demo using the barcode reader. Obviously, to use the barcode reader, we need to have the program precedent created, and the reader allows it recalling without search from the database. Now I briefly describe the composition of the machine. We have a composition 31U, which means planar, right, left, two bottom, two top, one bottom, and the universal spindle. To be more specific about the composition, the machine is equipped with a mobile PC electronic control that combines the console AM and also the software Maestro Foresight. Previously, the console stand on a chart, now is integrated on the machine base. The machine has 8 electronic axes, adjustment of the workpiece width and thickness, axial movement of the two vertical spindles, and of the bottom horizontal spindle. The innovation are the 3 axes on the universal spindle, horizontal, vertical, and its rotation, which traditionally are manually. Also, on the machine there are 3 HSK, rapid tool chuck, placed on the 2 vertical spindles and on the second top horizontal spindle. The other spindle are standard with 15 mm of diameter, anti-set rapid tool locking. Okay. Now we follow the software instruction, and machine suggests Paolo to make some adjustment on the machine. For the first time, he adjusts the right fence, and then he removes a sector on the pressure shoes on the second top horizontal spindle. We are waiting that Paolo complete this operation. And in this case, we have a new function that allows the operator to don't remember nothing, and machine suggests him each operation, also the manually operation. And you can add to each program a note. And the machine suggests you which is the adjustment to do. Now the control suggests to Paolo to change the tool. In this case, we have only to change the tool on the second top horizontal spin. We have the HSK rapid tool chuck, and in a quick time we do this operation, just pressing the green button on the spindle. Okay, we follow the HMI. Paolo tells to the machine which tools are installed now respect the previous demo. Now we can close the cabin. We continue to follow the instruction on the HMI. We are okay. Now we have to do the last operation. Paolo needs to adjust the manual positioning. In the left side of the screen we see all the axes. We can see the actual position and the target position. The axis in the red needs to adjustment. In this case, Paolo adjusts the first one, and then he moves to adjust the second one. When we have two arrows, we can go fast adjustment. When we have only one arrow, we can go slower because we are near the positioning. Okay, now all is green, and we start to load the pieces and working them. Our solid wood or frame are working inside of the machine. Okay. Now we want to show you the last device, 50. And the software to communicate with the machine called GTsoft. For example, we have changed the knife, Paolo, change the knife on the tool. Paolo recalled the tool where we changed the knife, and we want to recognize the new minimum diameter. We follow the alteration between the device and the software to put the tool inside the software of the machine. We save the new configuration of the tool, and Paolo go inside the HMI of the machine in the tool parameter. We load this new parameter, and machine suggests to us to update the tool that we are measured. Thank you very much for your attention, and back to the studio.
Thanks, Pietro. The wait for the release of the new Balestrini Pico range ends. We are talking about CNC Tenonaires mortises, a completely redesigned range with particular focus on safety, ergonomics, and ease of use. This is how SCM meets the needs of manufacturers of chairs, tables, and cabinet doors. Hi, I'm Davide Salvatorelli, Product Manager of CNC Machining Center for Chairs and Solid Wood Components. In this webinar, I will the features of these machines, as well as the latest news regarding our leading product, the CNC Machining Center Balestrini Power. Let's start introducing Balestrini Pico range. Balestrini Pico TN is the double worktable tenoning machine dedicated to the execution of any type of tenon, horizontal, vertical, inclined, rounded, and rectangular, with high productivity. For the cabinet door sector, we are introducing machines with high ease of use, dedicated to the realization of joints with extreme speed. The entry model Balestro MT is the ideal machine for the production of the miter door joint, used on frames and cabinet doors, made of solid wood called MDF, assembled without the use of plugs. For those who want to manufacture not only cabinet doors with miter door joint, but also shutter doors with the typical face frame joint, we introduce Balestrini Pico FF. The last in the range for cabinet door is Balestrini Pico FJ, the most complete machine on the market to realize miter door, face frame, and French joint. In the sector of wood chairs and tables, Balestrini Pico OM is the small all-rounder, able to go from head to long side processing at work field with extreme flexibility. The side range is characterized by the following advantages. The machines are equipped with multiple operating units that allow to machine tenons and mortises with a reduced number of strokes. Head and longitudinal machinings are carried out on these machines, but on the same machine, thus expanding the applications and reducing the strain in the facility. Design, in fact, the machines are two-faced with two positions, always ready for use. In SCM, safety comes first. The complete CE enclosure of the machine ensures protection without reducing the ease of use, also keeping the external environment clean. Maestro Active Joint is the new HMI with an extremely simple and effective design, which allows to select a number of macros for the programming of joints you want to machine. In order to show you the potential of the range, let's see in action the two most complete models, Balestrini Pico FJ and Balestrini Pico OM. Pico FJ is the most complete machine on the market to realize joints such as miter door, face frame, and frame joint on cabinet doors and shutter doors. To produce the first batch of pieces with miter door joint, the operator selects the macro from the new Maestro Active Joint, which is installed on 21.5 inches operator panel, IM, and runs the program on the machine. Up to 50 frames per hour with the infinity work cycle that uses the interpolation of the two NC axes to work in pendulum mode with no stops. The particular path allows to avoid workpiece chipping and allows to process materials such as solid wood and coat MDF. Either door is a strong and accurate joint. With this Tenon MOTC system, you can improve the appearance of your raised panel and increase their productivity, eliminating setups. From one joint to another one with a simple adjustment. By rotating the reference knob 5 degrees, the machine is ready to perform the tenoning of the cross pieces. The first step to realize a shutter door with face frame joint. The full enclosure ensures protection without reducing machine ease of use and keeps the external environment clean. It has two openings in front of the machining areas and a transparent central window where adjustment and maintenance of the tools are carried out. Second step to produce a shutter door is to perform multiple multices of styles on the rear work table. The accurate positioning of the workpiece is guaranteed by a rear and a side reference knob, while the geometry of the pressure devices ensures optimal locking. The interpolation of the two axes allows to realize multices of any inclination. In a few steps, we have produced the joint of a shutter door. The easy assembly shows the accuracy and the reliability of the machine. More complex joints are not the problem. Even the frame joint on cabinet doors can be made in a few simple steps. On the front work tables, it is performed the first step, the tenoning of the rails. The pieces just tenoned in pairs are ready for the second step on the rear work table, notching at 45 degrees. Performed thanks to a special tool of which Balestrini Pico FJ can be equipped with. To complete the cabinet door, 45 degrees notching and mortising of styles are missing. In a single position on the rear work table. With Balestrini Pico FJ, SCM introduces the most complete machine on the market, 8 cabinet doors that can be assembled without the use of external components. From the world of cabinet doors, let's move on to the furnishing accessories sector. Balestrini Pico OM is the answer to customers who are looking for the performance of a machining center, but with a limited budget and reduced overall dimensions. In particular, we will show you how easily it is possible to produce joints on the elements of a furnishing item, the chair. The chair is made up of elements that are assembled by means of a tenon multi-seat system, and backrest are tenoned on the heads. This step is performed on the front work tables with a productivity up to 720 tenons per hour, thanks to infinity work cycle. The shift from one batch to another one is carried out by simple manual actions: adjustment of tenon height and workpiece size, rotation of the side reference stop, and, if necessary, tilt of each work table. The workpiece length is defined by a manually adjustable rear reference stop. The operator panel, placed on a movable support, follows the operator in the other workstation, where mounting of the chair legs is performed. The exclusive Smart Pro Live CAD/CAM software integrated in the new HMI, Maestro Active Joint, simplifies the programming of machining. The left rear leg is locked by 3 jig-free contact and reference stop in longitudinal direction. The positioning in X and Y of each jig-free compact is carried out manually with the help of a reference bounded on the machining head. It is extremely ergonomic to adjust the mounting depth. All you need is an hexagonal branch and the job is done. In order to process also the front right leg, it is necessary to equip the machine with a second reference stop. With the exception of the seat, we have realized all the elements of the chair on a single machine, Balestrini Pico OM. Here the result. To find out more on Balestrini Pico range, we invite you to visit our website. It's time to move on our leading product, Balestrini Power. For this reason, I'll ask the help of our technician, Marco. Balestrini Power is the CNC 5-axis machining center with a fixed gantry structure, ideal for manufacturing of chairs, tables, beds, doors, stairs cases, and musical instruments. It can be configured with different specific solutions to achieve maximum productivity. The high comfortability starts from the work table. Here with us, there is a machine with a bar work table, designed to have the maximum modularity, according to the production needs. Locking devices, such as combi and jig-free, allow to lock pieces of any shape. As an alternative, the machine can be equipped with a multifunctional aluminum work table. It allows to lock pieces through jig or dedicated equipment, as suction caps and clamps. Let's go into the heart of the machine. With the CS33 machining head equipped with 3 electro spindles, liquid cooled, all the tools needed for the machining are always available. This ensures high processing speed. Alternatively, other machining heads are available, each optimized for specific applications. The machine is equipped with a new SCM enclosure with vertical sliding doors that allows a very fast machine access. This is the ideal customer who wants to reduce the overall dimensions of the machine and at the same time to ensure safety for the operators. Instead, if the easy loading, unloading of the workpieces is the most important aspect, we recommend the C enclosure with horizontal sliding doors. Cherry on the cake is the new 5-axis Smart Pro CAD/CAM software that allows you to generate workpieces, to automatically optimize trajectories, and to simulate machining operations in a single work environment. Now, let's see Palestrini Power in action. We would like to challenge you with the simple questions. What are we going to manufacture? How long does it take? We invite to reply you in chat right away. A little help is the furniture accessory. The right work table has already been put in place and equipped with a jig. It consists of a plywood panel and it is fastened by vacuum on the combi locking device. Also the pieces are fastened on the jig by vacuum. In the meantime, we can set up the left work table. First of all, we have to define where our jig free are have to be positioned. Thanks to the generation of the ANSI code by Smart Pro, it is possible to identify the coordinates of watch to check the cycle time. The bars number 1, 2, and 3 are on the right work table. The bars number 4, 5, and 6 are on the left work table. We have to place shoot first, and then 4 universal carriages. Bar 4 will be not used for this machining. Bar 5 has X 400. Then carriage 1 has Y 325. Carriage 2 has Y 625. Bar 6 has X 225. Then carriage 1 has Y 325 and carriage 2 has Y 625. Along that axis, G3 is already placed. Following the instruction of the ANSI, we are 100% sure that the machine is correctly set up, since Smart Pro has already performed the anti-collision check. Alright, we have loaded the pieces onto the left work table, while the right work table is in process. On the CS33 machining head, we have mounted a saw blade, a router, and a drill bit. In this way, all the tools needed for the different operations are always available. You may wonder, and if I need more tools? No problem. An electron spindle has the HSK chuck for tool change. In the meantime, we can unload the pieces from the right work table. As you can see, this operation is really easy thanks to the CE enclosure with vertical sliding doors. The machining on the left work table is already finished. We can unload the pieces and stop the stopwatch. Wow, 4 minutes and 18 seconds. Did you guess? This is a solid wood lamp. But what has enabled us to achieve this short cycle time? What makes Balestrini Power the ideal machine to realize complex elements like this? First of all, the work table modularity, which allows to work pieces of any shape in a single position. 5-axis revolver machining heads, which enable to achieve an high machining speed. Smart Pro software that makes 5-axis programming extremely user-friendly. And finally, everything has been done safely and ergonomically. So, our time is over. Thank you for watching and back to the studio.
Thank you very much, Davide Torelli, for your demonstration.